and Gedion Moi was on the other side supporting Kibaki. Yes, and coming along again, we remember before the death of the late president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, we remember there were stories that Gedion Moi actually was preventing. Of internet and all our viewers, this is Inside the Headlines, where we bring you live political issues taking place around the country and around the region. Here I'm joined with my friend Fred, who is a political analyst and also government strategist. Join me in this episode. We are here to discuss the rivalry that has existed between the two gentlemen. I don't know how to call it childhood rivalry, but we will know in a short while. So we are here to discuss the rivalry between Gedion Moi and President William Samoei Ruto. Is this a rivalry or just a political strategies to bring back Gedion Moi back to politics? Let us dive in and see through my friend here, Fred.
Yes, Moses. If you can recall very well, when the former president Daniel Arap Moi retired, it was his wish that one of these fine days, one of his son, would also ascend to the highest office of the land, and that is presidency, just like Uhuru Kenyatta, who also became president after his father, Jomo Kenyatta. So I believe that the former president also had that wish. But unfortunately, Ruto came from nowhere and just became the Kalenjin leader, as opposed to what was being anticipated by the Moi's family. So I think this is where this rivalry started. Gedion Moi thought that he was the real person to succeed his father and maybe later become the president. But as the political math is, he thinks that he may not become president anytime soon because Ruto came in and distorted the political equation that would favor him to become the president. So I think that is where the genesis, that's the genesis of their rivalry, Moses.
Yes, Fred, I remember these two gentlemen, they have always tried to be on the opposite side. Let us remember back in, I don't know, it was 2002, you remember 2007, Ruto was actually supporting Raila, and Gedion Moi was on the other side supporting Kibaki. Yes, and coming along again, we remember before the death of the late president Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, we remember there were stories that Gedion Moi actually was preventing or blocking the William Ruto from actually accessing Daniel Arap Moi. So it has been a rivalry that has been coming in. Then recently we actually saw that when we had a by-election in Baringo, when actually William Ruto, the president, actually called Gedion Moi on the table and they talked and they agreed. And we saw the photos with them together in the State House.
I think the president, as the head of state, always after what happened in 2024, the president wanted to bring every leader on board to ensure that the country is united. So it was incumbent upon the president to also ensure that his region, which is the Kalenjin nation, is united, because you cannot purport to go unite other regions from other parts of the country, and yet you have one of the person from your backyard pulling to the other direction.
Yeah.
So I think it was wise for the president to extend an olive branch to Gideon Moi, so that people can see that the president is actually serious with this unity of the country that is really championing for. So I think it was very wise for the president to do that, and as the head of state and a symbol of national unity, he had the burden of leadership to do it. So I think that is why he did it, and I think they have been working together, but now things have started simmering again. I don't know what's happening.
What happened? Because some political commentators actually are saying that the president is actually trying to bring Gideon Moi back to the limelight of politics. Do you buy the same idea?
True, I really buy that idea. The president wanted to also bring Moi and the Kanu Brigade back to the political limelight to ensure that the country is united. But as usual, there is always a political faction that someone would want to be more loyal to than the other. So if you look at the bromance between the Gideon Moi's family and the Kenyatta family, they are like inseparable. You cannot separate the two. So when the Kenyatta family is not comfortable with Ruto's administration, expect the Moi's family also to do the same. And if the Kenyatta family is happy with that regime, also expect Moi family to be happy with that regime. As you can see right now, the Kenyatta family, through former President Uhuru Kenyatta, is very critical about this administration for reasons that we may not know or we may speculate. So I think the former president, has been working day and night to convince Gideon Moi to join him to ensure that they make Ruto a one-term president. So I think that is also why there is a lot of rivalry. That's number one. Number two, there is this issue of the Gideon Moi being linked to the Standard Media Group.
Yeah, they are actually is actually the owner
of Standard Media Group. So it is also being alleged that there is a lot of unpaid dues by the government of Kenya to the Standard Media. So that is the reason why maybe there is a lot of push and pull between the nation, the Standard Media Group and the president, because the dues that are supposed to be the government owed the Standard Media Group have not been paid. So they feel like the government is punishing them. So, and that is the reason why there have been these bad headlines each and every day portraying the government in
okay,
bad way.
Let's face it, Fred.
Yes.
Recently, there's been headline after the headline.
Yes.
Is it actually the truth, or they're just
I think
because recently they published the gallery of President of Ruto's lies. Again, you remember the Mr. 6 months. So is there some truth in this?
in my view, if what is being alleged, it is true that the government owes billions of money to Standard Media Group, then I think these headlines are just there to blackmail the president. They want the president to call them and talk to them. Oh, why are you doing this? Please stop this. then they tell the president, okay, if you want us to stop this, pay us our dues, then ensure that you give us more contract, the government contract on advertisement. So I think it's just a strategy by this media house to to coerce the president to call them on the table to gain something. So these headlines, I don't think if they are genuinely they are genuine.
I look at them, and the one that caught my attention is the Niti Bridge. After 6 months, we are going to do this, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. So, to some extent, uh, okay, it could be what you are saying, but to some extent, there is some truth in it because there is actually what the president promised and he has not delivered. For example, the Niti Bridge, some of the projects that have been exposed by the standard media is actually unfolding
The head of state.
the head of state
Actually,
for these projects.
I like what you have said. It is a promise. Sometimes when you promise someone something, there are some dark forces. Because a promise is something that you are promising, thinking that you may deliver. But you never know. There are certain things that may happen that makes you not deliver. Like for example, for you to fund a government project, you need resources. Like the finance bill of 2024 that was withdrawn after the Gen Z protest. Maybe that finance bill is where the funds that were going to be used to finance some of this project were factored in that finance bill. But since it was withdrawn, the government had no any other way but now to defer some of this project to subsequent financial years. So that's why I'm saying that we cannot follow the president for promising. In fact, it is you'd rather promise someone or the people of Kenya that you are going to deliver something so that they put you on toes to deliver it rather than not promise anything. So I think the Standard Media Group is being unfair to the president uh, for the promises that he made to the Kenyan people, because if you make a promise, there might be some of the reasons that can deter you from not fulfilling those promises, and there are a number of them. Because yes,
On this gallery, if
Yeah.
you look at them, this documentary, there are projects that the president actually said the contractors were already on site.
So okay, some of these infrastructural projects,
Yes.
they take too long to be completed. I've never seen an infrastructural project that can take less than 1 year to be completed. So why can't we give the president time to complete this project? Maybe we can judge him next year, 2 or 3 months with the elections. I think it is still early to judge the president without giving him time to deliver. And by the way, there is nothing simple like criticism. It is always very easy to oppose because you don't have the burden of leadership. But once you are in the government is when you will realize that when you want to do something, maybe there is a court order that's a slam break on some of the things you want to do. So there is always a lot of the court cases. There is the finance aspect of it. So there is so many things, and you know the government is also bureaucratic. There are certain procedures that you must follow for something like the procurement procedures. Everything must be followed the law. So such kind of things, for you to follow them until the project takes off, it needs time. But most Kenyans maybe don't understand that. But I believe that people who are working in standard group, they have the mental faculty to realize that for you to implement any government project, you must follow the law. You cannot just wake up one day and say, we are building this road, even if you are the president. Somebody will go to court and say, That road was not factored in the budget. There is no money. The procurement procedure was not followed as per the law. So it is a very complicated thing. You will only realize that it can be done or it cannot be done once you are sitting there as the head of state.
Let's face it.
Yes.
When we look at our president and what you have alluded to,
Yes.
like for example, the all logistics that you have explained.
Yes.
Now, is it incumbent by the office of the president, especially the communication strategist, should actually explain these things to the public, to the citizens?
Actually,
So is it a fail also on the side of the president's communication strategist?
I think these communications have always been there. It's only that there is some, the government, the people will always not trust the government. So no matter the communication, no matter how you communicate to the public, they will always trust the propaganda. You know, the propaganda sells easily than the truth. So if the mainstream media, as other people will call it, the legacy media, the legacy media, like the standard media
But we also have the legacy presidents and political players.
So the legacy media, in this case, the standard media group, will not, will because they have a problem with the current president, they will always look for just small shortcomings to paint the government in bad way, because they also have an agenda to achieve. So I think the president from next year, January, I think he will be walking across the from one part of the country to the other, explaining to mwananchi what he has done and what has not been done, and the reason why what he promised he has not delivered. And by the way, it is common sense. Even you, Moses.
Yes.
Sometimes you always have, all of us always, you always have New Year resolutions, isn't it?
Yes.
Each and every year you say, this year I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4. By the end of the year, you find that you have only done 2. 3 you have not done. So it is
maybe I didn't tell my family members.
It is normal
Yes.
that even the president may have a blueprint for the country that he is intending to do 1, 2, 3, 4. But there are certain things that are going to make him not accomplish some of these things. So we must also understand that the president and his government, they're also human beings just like us. You can say that you are going to do this and you don't achieve it. The only problem that we should have with the president, if he tells us that I'm going to do all this, and by the end of his 5-year term, we find that he has only done 20% of what he said. But if the president can be able to get at least 70% of what he promised, and 30% he has not accomplished, that is humanly acceptable.
Can we?
So,
can we
and
be
if you
sure?
look at the track record of the president promised affordable housing, he's delivering. The president promised about the universal health care, he's delivering through SHA.
SHA is not working.
But
it is not working.
It is working. The president also promised on jobs. The housing, affordable housing, the affordable housing has created a lot of jobs.
Which kind of jobs are these?
A lot of jobs for the Kenyans. Not only Mijengo, we have plumbers, we have electricians, we have the building construction engineers. So it is not Mijengo as people would call it. It's only people who are not. They are opposition leaders who don't want to see the good in what the president is doing. So the president actually has done so much. In fact, also the standard, the SGR is also planned to reach Malaba through Kisumu. So you can see, and also there was also issue of debts. Remember when the president came to power, the Kenya was among the countries that who are going to default on debts. The president has turned it around, and we are now safe. Uh,
Are
in
we
fact,
safe?
we are safe. In fact, right now we are not among the countries that are going to default on debts. So I think the president has done almost 80% of what he promised Kenyans, and by next year, around July, I think he will click 90% of what he promised Kenyans. So it is normal to have those naysayers in any society.
Okay, let's face it.
Yes.
Let us be on the shoe of Gedion Moi.
Yes.
There is a by-election. There is a
Contest.
possibility, in fact, 100% possibility, that you are going to be the senator of Baringo. Then comes the president. You talked. Maybe Gedion Moi was promised that in the coming reshuffling, maybe the president would incorporate him in the cabinet, and he has not seen that. So the only way to also inject is through his own means, because let's take it. Our president is we can say is a smart politician, and Gideon Moi, if you compare the two, so there is one who is good in politics, and there is one who is also good in business. So they are fighting each other on a fair ground. Yeah.
Yeah, that could also be true, but I think if Gideon Moi has a problem, maybe there are some promises that the president made to him personally, and he has not fulfilled. Then he should call him. I think he has his number. Instead of washing their dirty linen in public, I think that's not true.
But remember, also, if you look at the history of our president and what precipitated him to be the president was the hustler narrative.
True.
He's actually campaigned on the hustler narrative, fighting the dynasty, and these are people who have financial muscle, the likes of Gideon Moi, the likes of Uhuru Kenyatta. And if the president actually rose on the hustler narrative, so he has also been attacking these people. What do you think?
No, the president, if I can, if you look at this thing critically, the president has got good intention for the whole country. If you look at the way he's trying to unite the country, the country was sharply divided along ethnic lines. So I can give kudos to the president for really trying to bring all the country on one, to sing the same song. But there are some leaders within the opposition that are dragging him behind. But I believe that through God's grace and intervention, he is going to succeed. After winning the re-election next year, he will succeed in uniting the country, and by the time he's leaving office in 2032, the country is going to remain united, and in fact, the tribalism will be reduced. Yeah.
Yes. So our viewers, this is a long conversation that we cannot finish right now. So I'm going to give our guest here 1 minute to say his final remarks.
Thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. Just like how I've always talked on this bench, kindly let us unite, let us embrace patriotism, let us love our country, let us ensure that we correct our leaders all the time, and ensure that if our leaders realize that we are united, they will not bring all these narratives of division, politics of tribalism, and etc. So our unity as a country is what is important. Let us be patriotic and ensure that we embrace all our national symbols. Thank you.
Yes, so thank you all our viewers. We still urge you to continue watching our videos and liking them, and also find time to subscribe to our videos so that the YouTube will actually show you the next episode